Good Sunday morning, Northeast Ohio, and a happy belated St. Patrick's Day to all. March is a month of so many days. St. Patrick's Day yesterday, buzzards returning to Hinckley today, St. Joseph's Day tomorrow, first day of spring on Tuesday, and the month as a whole is National Women's History Month. On Capitol Hill, there was a special honor in that department for this woman, longtime Northeast Ohio Congresswoman Marcy Kaptur.
As she becomes the longest-serving woman in the history of the House of Representatives.
Kaptur getting a rare bipartisan standing ovation on reaching that milestone. She won her seat in the U.S. House in the Democratic wave of 1982 and has been in it now for 36 years.
Marcy, thank you for your outstanding leadership on behalf of Ohioans, for sure, for all Americans, on behalf of women, girls, and families across the country and across the world.
I rise to wholeheartedly agree with the Democratic leader. I'm not sure I've ever said that before. No matter which side of the aisle we are on, we can all take something from your example. You have been a tireless advocate for your principles, your point of view, and you have done it with honor and distinction. And with that, that is a phenomenal example for all of us.
Well, setting an example is something another Northeast Ohio leader is looking to do. He wasn't elected, but rather appointed by none other than Pope Francis to lead the Cleveland Catholic Diocese. As he marks his first 6 months in the job, we sat down this week with Bishop Nelson Perez. A half year into the job as head of the Catholic Diocese of Cleveland, Bishop Nelson Perez says he's still on an 8-county get-to-know-me tour.
I'm doing right now a parish for the school during the week. And sometimes in the last couple of weeks, I've been in 3 to 4 parishes on the weekends for different things.
He inherited a much leaner diocese following a consolidation of churches almost a decade ago. How do things stand? Do you see the need for more changes in that area, or are we on good footing going forward?
Right now we are where we are. You know, that was certainly a very painful time, as those things are. Those things are painful. There's no way around that. There really is no way around that. We all understand, and Bishop Lennon, you know, did a great job and had a hard time at the same time, because those jobs are thankless jobs, and we know in our personal lives that we downsize all the time, right? My family downsized, right? It went from a big house, and then, you know, we flew the nest, and then they were just the 2 of them, so they had to downsize, and they had to look at that. So that's a constant review and a constant reflection. It's not something that I have to do right now, but I'm assuming as I get to know the place better and what parishes and stuff, that adjustments might need to be done. That's part of the dynamic of life, you know.
Your installation in September came on the very day that the Trump administration did away with DACA. Mm-hmm. You mentioned the immigrants in your homily.
Today we pray in a special way for our immigrants. We're going through tough times and challenging times.
You came to the aid of an Illyrian man who was facing deportation. How important is it for you in your position to speak truth to power, in a sense, when you feel that it's needed?
The church has always been a voice for those who are poor and those who are in need and those that can't help themselves. And I remember that poor family that was separated. I was interviewed at the stairs of the cathedral, and they asked me, "What do you have to say about that?" I said, "What I have to say is a question." And the question was, help me to understand how this is the right thing to do. There has to be another way.
One of the things that you mentioned a couple of minutes ago, and also when you first got here, was you were struck by the high level of Catholic education. Second largest district in the state, 5th largest private in the country. Mm-hmm. You know, when I was growing up, it was easy for a middle-class family to send all the kids K through 12. It's more of an economic challenge today. How much of that is a concern for you going forward?
I am concerned about it, and at the same time, coming from a state in New York where there was no such thing as vouchers and/or tax credits, coming from Pennsylvania where there was some relief in terms of tax credit, I have to say, having been a pastor with 2 schools, I wish I had half of what schools in Ohio have right now. Half. All I would have wanted was half, right? So we are blessed in the state of Ohio with a wonderful voucher program that gives the opportunity to lots of children, thousands of them, to get a Catholic education, a private education, where otherwise they wouldn't have it.
There's an old saying that a guest sees more in an hour than a host sees in a year. Interesting perspective from someone new to the state. With Democracy 2018, I'm John Kosich. Enjoy your Sunday.